Joining us now here on The Drive on ESPN 700. He's a good friend, man. I've known him for a long time. And every time I see a shot of him on TV and he's not sporting the dreadlocks, it just feels weird. He's the captain of RSL. He's Kyle Beckerman, and he joins the show now. What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How you doing, Spence?
Doing well. It's been a minute. We're going to get to Mike being let go and you know how you're going to lead that locker room in a moment. But Kyle, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, it's my first show back on ESPN 700, and I feel like I've known you like half your adult life. I remember the day that the trade went down. I remember Jason talking about how excited he was to have you in. I remember when you were given the captain's armband. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You're as responsible for the turnaround and ultimate direction of this team that led to an MLS Cup and really a good dominant 4 or 5 year run than anybody else. What are your memories as you look back now as the senior statesman of your RSL career?
Oh, man. It seems like a couple careers now. This is, being that younger player, then getting some experience, then coming up, then being right around my mid-20s when I got traded to Real, and just that whole just kind of trying to, change the culture in the locker room, and with, the guys that were with me, the wingers, Ramondo's, Javier, Finley's, just really putting our head down and getting to work. And, it was a lot of fun. And, getting to the top and winning was just something that was really neat to experience. And then, just we're kind of just trying to, I think we took a little, rebuilding or remodeling for reasons, not my reasons, but so we've kind of got, past 4 or 5 years, we've been really trying to kind of build a foundation again and get back to trying to be one of those teams that, is competing for everything every year. And we got a lot of nice young guys, which I really like to see them progress. They've come a long way in the couple of years that they've been in. And, really it's just coming each day and trying to improve, trying to get better. No matter how old you are, how young you are, come to practice, trying to get better. Let's try and get better the next game and just keep on improving. Hopefully you do that and you keep at that for a long time, that the trophies then come after that.
Kyle, one of the reasons that I remember being in the room when we decided to kind of make you our face, and one of the reasons we did is not only were you just a great player and a marketable player, but you also seem to really genuinely love Salt Lake and love Utah. And one of the things I've been talking about today is one of the reasons that I wanted to come back to the station is I really wanted to stay in Salt Lake. Utah's home for me now, and even though I spent plenty of time back east, and you're a Maryland kid, but it kind of feels like you're as much of a Utahn as anybody else. I mean, I don't know when you're going to hang up your cleats, but when you do, is Utah home for you?
It is. I've absolutely fell in love with it. I think in the beginning I was unsure. I didn't know much about it. And little by little, I've just fallen in love with the state. Then I found my wife. I have first kid now here, born in, my son's born in Utah. And so I think automatically that gets me a little bit closer to Utah and being a Utahn. No, I love it here. He's got everything we need. And on the soccer side, we've got a beautiful stadium. We've shown that it can be done here. You can be a top team in the league, in the nation, right here in Salt Lake. So it's really cool to be a part of that whole scene.
So, Kyle, you were a captain for Jason Kreis. You were a captain for Jeff Cassar. You were a captain for Mike Petke. Mike Petke has been relieved of his duties. Freddie Juarez, the interim head coach, who seems to be getting you guys to play pretty well, at least in a limited space here, will now take over for a little bit. Your thoughts on the fact that Mike was let go and the fact that you, once again, as the captain, will be responsible for the message and the tone and tenor of that locker room. Your thoughts on the recent situation with your head coach?
Yeah, I heard the news when the rest of everyone heard the news last night, and I was a little surprised. I thought, that it was a settled matter. I think at the root of it, Mike was really just trying to fight for us. He felt we were wronged a little bit, and he was trying to stand up for us, and I think it just got out of hand. But I've known Mike a really long time, and I could tell you he's not a homophobe. I just think it was an incident that got away from him. And but in this business of, there's another game Wednesday. We don't have much time to dwell on it, and the decision was made. And we have full confidence and trust in Freddie and the whole coaching staff. And so the message is we got to just keep getting to work. I mean, it's the same message when we lose, tie, or win. We got to keep trying to improve. And we're in a good spot right now in terms of the last 5 games or so, maybe even a little longer than that, where we're in a good spot. We're seeing guys, and as a team, we're getting into better form. And we got a chance on Wednesday to jump the team we're playing in Seattle. So the stakes they're getting higher each as the games get less and less. I mean, we're at 10 games left now, so we gotta turn the page, unfortunately. And we wish Mike all the best and his family. But at this point, we have to turn the page quick and get ready for Wednesday.
Kyle, when I was kind of breaking down the entire situation, deciding exactly what I wanted to say on air about Mike, because I don't know Mike personally. I've been removed from the franchise for a number of years, but the people that I know Mike, like you, like Mike, and they don't think he's racist, they don't think he's homophobe. But here's what you can't argue. The results have been average, okay? And when you look at his record, he's 1 game above 500. And I spoke to somebody over the weekend that said you guys, in his estimation, have one of the best young rosters in Major League Soccer, and the results haven't fit the talent. And if that's the case, then it is a head coaching issue. So do you think, as the guy that is in the locker room, the results have fit the talent so far this year?
Well, I look at so he took over in 2017, and so that was the marker, I guess. That was kind of it reminded me a lot of Jason in a way, where he took over around halfway. We did a bit better. We got we got at least in the conversation of the playoffs. The next year was his full year. We improved a bit. It wasn't a drastic improvement, but we scored more goals than the year before, and we made the playoffs, which we did in the year before. And this year, I think we have a chance to. We're at a point where we can improve from last season. So I think the trajectory is going in the right direction. I think there's a lot of things, that go into being a successful team than just the head coach. And this league is going at a fast pace. This league is sprinting, and there's teams that are. I mean, the amount of money that's being spent now is a lot more than just even say 5 years ago, and it's going to continue to get this way. And so, if you're not sprinting and doing everything right, it's sometimes it takes a bit more time. I mean, we're not spending the money on like some of these other teams, and we have a very good young core that's coming up, but you got to get that experience, and I think we're improving and guys are getting better, but it's going to take some time, more games. It took us a while. You got to have this, you got to get that 14 to 15 guys that you can rely on, that are healthy, that are getting games and getting years under the belts, and then hopefully this whole academy and everything will start to pay off even more. But I think we are improving, and we just got to keep trying to get better, keep trying to improve, and hopefully we'll get there.
Do you ever look around? Because I was watching a game a few weeks back. I try and keep track of what's going on, and I was looking around, and I realized I only knew you, Nick, and Tony. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we are old men now. Do you ever look around and go, holy smokes, I can't believe how fast it went?
Yeah, oh gosh, it went really fast. It really did. It's just something you can't take for granted. I mean, I think the last 4 or 5 years myself, I'm thinking, my career could be done any day. It could be in a practice. It could be in a game. I mean, just to stay healthy, and so you can't take anything for granted. I mean, we got 10 games left. I got nothing guaranteed for next year, so it's like. It's crazy how fast things have gone, and I guess that's life. Life gets faster the older you get, I think, and you just can't take any day for granted.
No doubt. Well, look, man, thanks for hopping on today. I wanted to be sure to cover the RSL angle. I wanted to get you on as captain and as the OG and as someone who I've known and really learned to love for a lot of years, man. So Go get them final 10 games. My family and I have always pulled for you. We'll continue to do so, and we'll chat soon, okay? Be well.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, see you, Spence.
You got it, man. Kyle Beckerman, RSL captain, as news surfaced yesterday that Real Salt Lake has parted ways with former manager Mike Petke, and Freddie Juarez will take over, and he's been coaching them on an interim basis as Mike has been suspended. Kyle's RSL career is phenomenal. The entire ethos of the franchise changed the day he put on the captain's armband, and he hasn't looked back since then. RSL currently sits in 6th place in the Western Conference, 11-4-9, 10 games left. Is this LAFC's goal differential is plus 40? Is that real?
Very real.
What the? Okay, guilty as charged. I haven't really looked at the MLS standings for a minute. Their goal differential is plus 40?
It's LAFC, everybody else in the West.
Well, yeah, because Seattle's second, and their goal differential is plus 4. That's a real thing?
Real thing. Carlos Vela, man.
Why are we even playing the rest of the schedule? I've never seen a differential like that.
Playoffs, knockout tournament.
Their goal differential's plus 40. They're not going to get knocked out. I've never seen that. Wait, who else do they have? Do they have Zlatan?
LAFC?
Yeah.
They've got Diego Rossi.
Okay.
They've got, Vela has been on a tear. He's leading the league in goals, and he's been the best player in Major League Soccer.
How many goals does he have? 60?
Almost.
This is ridiculous. Man, well, that's kind of depressing. Anyway, special thanks for Kyle Beckerman to joining the show. I'm sorry, I just saw that for the first time. I should have looked. I should have been prepared. That's a massive goal differential.